Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. As usual, starting with Metal Earth, checking Fascinations coming soon page, I was pleasantly surprised. With as much stuff as they've come out with lately, I kind of figured there might be a gap in new postings, but there are 3 new Iconics models, 2 of which are dragons. There is a red dragon and a blue dragon. And they, for the most part, appear very similar to the silver dragon that already exists, but the head and the wings have some detailed differences. If you look in the description of the blue dragon, it talks about it being a European dragon and how they have bat-like wings. So I thought that was very interesting, especially with Piececool having one version of a dragon and the US have a slightly different version in the head. Now they're coming out with 2 different Iconics dragons with different styles to them. Along with the 2 Iconics dragons is also an Iconics Templar Knight, and when I first saw that I thought this was just another Metal Earth part of the armor collection. Not to say that it isn't, but its Iconics, so it's a little bit larger, so that's pretty cool. And possibly my favorite is they have a 1934 Packard 12 convertible in color. The thing looks beautiful. I find that very exciting. I certainly hope it comes together better than, say, the Mustang did. The Mustang was okay, but it seems like it could use some improvement in shape. But I would imagine that Packard is going to be one heck of a challenge to get together properly. Now, flipping over to Piececool's website, they do have a new model showing up on the front of their page, and it looks very similar to a model that I talked about last week. The new model is Yang Zongbao, if I've said that correctly, which appears to be the husband in whatever story, and honestly I don't know a lot of the background behind it, but it is the young Zongbo is the husband to Mu Gaying, which I spoke about last week. So it's a very similar looking character, obviously different details and color to it, but it has the large headpiece with the balls and different decorations. I am once again very curious to see what actually comes in the packaging of this model, because it looks like it's more than just metal sheets. There seems to be other accoutrements with it as well. That's a new addition. Kind of goes along the same lines with what they came out with last week. Very, very interesting. I can't wait to find out more about that. As far as new models is concerned, that's pretty much it for this week. A few new things from Fascinations and Piececool. Nothing really new on the MU or AliExpress websites right now, and I really haven't come across anything new with Disney exclusives or any other exclusive models, which honestly is kind of a relief. There's so many models out there right now, I don't think any of us can afford them all, nor do we have the time. A little bit of a break is not such a bad thing. In more personal news, I'm still working on building up an inventory of the cone shaping tools that I've talked about previously. I hope to offer a few sets through Patreon as a Patreon reward here fairly soon. Again, I'm still working on the inventory. It takes me a while to build these sets up, and I'm also thinking about making some changes so that I can maybe slightly more quickly develop and produce these tools to make them available to those who want them. The 3D printers have been very busy lately, and it's been difficult for me to squeeze in to get any of my own prints done, but I did manage to print a smaller taper, which seems to be more of the size of what I'm actually looking for, so I'm hoping and looking forward to using that in a build very soon. And I've also been experimenting with a long folding tool, very similar to one that you can get through Piececool, or not through Piececool, but you can get through AliExpress through one of the sellers. Theirs is metal, mine is plastic. The initial testing did not go as well as I'd hoped. Plastic just may not be suitable for what I wanted to do, but I've made a new one that's more dense and hope to test it out soon. Still very much a work in progress. That's it for this week. Check out the links in the description down below for links to a few of the things I've talked about. Also check out my social media. Sometimes when news comes up in between these videos, I'll post it on my social media. And of course, stay tuned next week for more 3D metal model news. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.